Hey everyone, this is Dimensions of the Supernatural. I am Maureen Grudzinski, otherwise known as a Lil Witchy, and I'm here by myself. However, we have some great guests for you tonight. They are our regulars, and their names are Carmella and Todd Kokotajlo. We also have our guest host who doesn't know where he's at as usual. That is Anthony Simonelli, otherwise known as Mr. Fuhgeddaboudit. He will be in whenever he flips me off. So we're just waiting for him. But in the meantime, we're going to bring in our amazing guests, Carmella and Todd Kokotajlo.
Hey, Maureen, how are you doing? How's everybody doing?
Well, I don't think Anthony's doing too well, but we're waiting for him.
Poor Anthony. He's having some tech issues.
Yeah.
I was having tech issues earlier trying to kind of get on a StreamYard using my our laptop, and it just kept spinning. So I'm like, what the heck? It's not working.
It's definitely a StreamYard issue, I think.
Yeah.
Hi guys. Hi everyone.
Hello everybody. It's
I'm having technical difficulties. My phone's dead.
I
can't get the charger to work.
We can blame Leap Day.
Yeah, that's coming up a lot today, I think. So while we're waiting for Anthony, now he's frozen in the green room.
Anthony, where are you?
Yeah, he's definitely frozen. So Ginger's with us, Ron, Nicole.
That's our dog.
Oh, that's our dog playing with a squeaky toy.
That's hysterical. That's like a great noise for, like if you're doing laughing or whatever.
Lacey, what are you doing? She's like, oh, okay, you're not paying attention to us. It's time to play. Let's pay attention to me. I'm gonna start squeaking the toy.
We have Bobby, Jenny, Lady V, hello. And that's all we've seen so far. And I can't see anyone else because hello, doggy. So we're still waiting for Anthony. I feel like I should bump him out and
kick him out, send him in.
Yeah, maybe he should be kicked out and then brought back. I don't know what to do with him right now. Bobby's asking if he's okay. No one is okay on this show. Hello. I see some new people here. This is good.
It's a leap year.
It is a leap year. It's kind of like equal to April Fools with,
no doubt,
with a Mercury retrograde or something. I think it's like one of those weird things.
I said that this morning. I said, tell me, please, it's April Fool's today, right? Somebody please tell me that.
It definitely is. Oh, he's moving again. Anthony, you didn't flip me off yet, so I don't know what's going on.
He's not frozen?
No, he's moving again. So we'll see. So why don't we just get started and he can let me know when he's ready.
Yep.
Tell us, you guys are paranormal investigators. You started off just by going on vacation and finding things, and you were world travelers, mostly stuff like Florida, Key West, and St. Augustine. So tell us about what transpired to get you to this point.
You want to?
I'm dealing with the dog.
You're dealing with the dog.
I'm dealing with the dog, trying to keep her quiet.
Yeah. So, I mean, we've been together since high school. So 33 years now.
Yes.
And so we're high school sweethearts, and we started traveling, going to Florida, and then whenever we would wherever we would go, we started to do the ghost history tours as a something to do. And
we do that everywhere we go.
Yeah. And so it was something to kind of pass the time, something of that was of interest to us back then. We kind of didn't really think about at that time the investigation aspect of doing what we're doing now, but we always enjoyed it, and we learned a lot about history, and then as we kept on going through the different locations that we would go to, our interest kind of peaked a little bit more and more and more. And then fast forward to We have 2 grown sons now. They're working. We had weekends free. And then actually right down the street from us, literally 2-minute drive into town where we're at in Columbus is it's called the Old Columbus Inn. It's a restaurant that closed down, but it has a lot of spirit kind of activity associated with it. Back in the day, it was built in, I think, 1786, something like that.
Wow.
But it's got a lot of history. It was a speakeasy. It was a state police barracks back in the day. Some of the timbers that were, that go down into the basement, they're original. So like they're the old like cedar wood steps, and like it's like the log and planed off and stuff. So it's a neat history, and there was a lot of artifacts that were found in there when it kind of, when there was a group that was going in there to investigate. We ended up going in there investigating with them as guests, and then we ended up, that kind of pushed us to, pursue investigating on a daily basis, weekend basis, kind of pretty much any chance that we get. So
did you start by using just yourselves? Did you bring in older equipment like a compass and a pendulum, or did you jump in and get some equipment here and there just to start a collection?
Good question. Yeah. So we, I'm not going to lie, we were watching the shows, Ghost Hunters, Taps. I hear them.
Can you hear me now?
I hear you. Can you hear me now? We hear you, Tony.
You're very echoey.
But echoey.
Yeah. I won't talk then.
You're good. You got to turn your camera on though, so we can see you.
You got.
Now you're gone.
And now I'm echoey.
Now you're echoey. I think we're all echoey. We have 2. You have 2 screens.
We have 2 screens.
Who has 2 screens? Anthony
had 2. He brought up another screen, and then that's when he was able to talk.
He may have had his phone and the computer on. That's a possibility.
Oh, maybe that's
maybe that's why it was echoey.
Yeah, V, he is speaking in God mode.
So yeah, we kind of went out and purchased gadgets, a lot of gadgets. And, because it was something new to us from the actual investigation standpoint. I know Carmella, K2s, the REM pods, recorders, digital recorder. The beginning, kind of leading up to what we're doing now, I will tell you this, Carmella I was going to let her kind of talk about it. One time.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay. I'm going to bring me up as the avatar. All right? Don't bring me up as the, in my face. Because you're going to have echoes.
All right.
We're going to say we don't now, all right?
Yeah, I didn't think he was echoing there. Just make sure one of your make one of your mics are off. On your phone, make sure your mic is on the computer.
Anthony, I can't bring you up as the avatar. I can only bring you up this way. And now we can't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Okay, there we go.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to have to look like this. I'm actually using a camera on my phone, and I'm on as a host because when I try StreamYard, I've been fighting it all day. It won't let me use my camera, abandoned my camera for some reason. And I was working on it. I pulled the cameras out. I used 4 cameras. It won't let me on, so.
It's like watching a Kung Fu movie.
StreamYard.
All right, I'll do it this way. If I'm looking up, that means I'm looking on you on the screen. I'm not ignoring this. You're not ignoring you. Just my face is there, and my arm's getting tired. So
It's all good.
I'm sorry. I know you talking about equipment that you guys were using, and you wanted Carmella. See, I said your name right. I didn't say chameleon. Carmella.
Carmella.
Carmella. What are in there?
Is that good?
It's fine.
No, it's not fine. If it's not right.
Do
Carmella.
car and then Milla.
Carmella.
Milla.
Carmella.
What are in there? Fine.
Listen, okay, forget
So
it.
good.
All right,
Calm.
calm.
Everybody calls me Carm.
Are you?
Yeah. You can call me Carm.
Except me, I call it just car.
Car. Okay, that's easier to remember.
That is.
It is.
So, okay. So you talk about equipment that you want Carmella to talk about. That's the last I came in.
No, I guess not so much equipment, but I was going to talk about the one experience. But we'll wait on that.
Yeah.
So, what's your favorite device that you
What's my favorite?
I thought you liked the fast one.
I can't remember that.
Should we tell them about the new device that we just got?
Go ahead.
So we just purchased. It was the Dead Bell from the EMF Dead Bell. So got it, used it for the first time on Saturday night at Peachfield Plantation, which is 10 minutes from us. Very historic house, built in 17.
I think 71. I don't remember.
Yeah, like late 1700s. The owner's name was John Skeen. He was the first Freemason in the colonies.
Interesting.
Yeah. It was, so the basement is partially finished, but it has a section that was dirt. So during the investigation, we used this, the dead bell, set it off to the right-hand side of the basement and started using it, turned it on, had it on its lowest setting for sensitivity. And it could be triggered one of two ways, through the EMF internal component or just physical touching. So we started to, I was down with was actually a coworker.
We went with everybody I work with.
Everybody that
some
she
of
works
the
with.
people I work with.
So I had half the group. She had down in the basement. Started doing Q&A session. Started getting intelligent responses and hits on the dead bell and also tripwire. The REM pod didn't go off at all. So then we were down there for about 50 minutes. It did its thing, and then we went upstairs. We switched, and I'll let you explain what happened.
We had something come across the box. The lady's watching. The lady's angry, and then we asked a question, and the bell went off, and then all of a sudden somebody repeated whatever it was. The lady's angry, and the bell just went off nonstop. It just kept dicking.
That's when you were like, "Oh, I don't want to listen to this."
Yeah.
Well, that's when I said, "Okay, everybody upstairs, we're done."
So we went back on review. It rapid fired for like 23 times in a row.
But when I picked it up, I went back down and picked it up, and it was like melted. Well, it was on fire. It smelled like fire.
You know, like that electrical.
It was electrical smell,
Kinda burning
and it was
smell.
hot. The bell was hot.
And
So I don't know. Did it go off? Did like the spirit set it off, or was it like a malfunction?
Yeah.
So we sent it back to where we got it from, and they already sent out a new one. It's on its way. But I told them, I says, please keep us informed, because we're learning. We want to know, kind of possibly if they can detect what the issue may have been. If they can't find any logical thing, then, then it could very well have been an anomalous type of response that caused the debit, for it to react the way that it did and kind of stop working.
Yeah,
Well,
the
there
bell
was-
is metal.
Yeah. There was a spirit in the basement. She was a what did she do? What was she? She worked for them. The kitchen was in the
servant.
basement.
She was a servant, I believe.
And they said that she was very angry whenever people would go down there. She wasn't happy. So I'm like, well, and we did see something moving back there, but it was just like a dark shadow. We couldn't see a face or anything. So we shut it off and took it upstairs and said, I'm not going back down.
So that was our first, so that was a relatively new piece of equipment that we used.
And where was that used?
It's called Peach. If you Google Peachfield Plantation.
Okay.
It's right. It's in, I guess it's considered West Hampton, New Jersey, which is 10 minutes from where we're at in Columbus.
Oh, what are those?
What is that? Did
you get a treat?
Why are you smiling? We can't hear you.
I just got delivered cannolis from Todd and Carmella.
Right now?
Surprise.
Yeah.
What's the note say, Anthony?
The cannolis will always find you. Enjoy. From Carmella and Todd. Oh, man, this is great. I can't. I'm trying to get this audience. I can see it.
No, you're good. So we haven't met you, and
There it goes.
And, it's a great community, and you guys emanate terror unity, and what good friends in community are about. So,
I can't believe this.
So we were like, and that was after hearing about your adventures with Ron and Lourdes and Cherie and Tony and all the other investigations. The common theme was that you would always bring the cooler gabagool, prosciutto, and then you would always bring the cannoli. So that's why when you came down for that one event down in Columbus here, and we did the Staticom session with Ron and Lourdes at the winery, we brought, because we were like, oh, let's just, as a good gesture and kind of a funny haha, we brought them cannoli. So I'm like, oh, we had the idea yesterday. I'm like, let's reach out to Ron Lourdes. Is there a way of sending him cannolis as another funny haha? And so here's the
big cigar. Huh?
So here's,
unless you have some for the whole class, sir.
Now, here's the thing. Now, do you remember a couple of shows ago, Maureen? Do you remember a few episodes? He kind of thanked us and talked about us, and how we brought him the cannolis. Do you remember you said your kind of favorite dessert is tiramisu? So we didn't forget.
Is my doorbell gonna ring?
So here's the thing.
We tried.
I reached out, and I didn't know your husband's got the same name as mine, Todd.
He does.
So I was like, Ron and Lourdes, they didn't have a way reaching out to him. I'm like, so I sent him a message on
That's
Facebook
so funny.
Messenger, but he wasn't accepting. So I was I'm like, it's last minute. Don't think we're crazy.
We were trying to get it for you.
I was going to say, hey, listen, can you go pick up a piece of tiramisu or a cake or whatever to bring it so you could have it and enjoy, because we didn't want to leave you out.
Aw, that's so sweet. That's so funny though, because he looked at me, he goes, Lourdes just friended me on Facebook. And I said, you were friends with Lourdes already?
She says, oh, I just send him a message and send a friend request or something like that. So that would be why. But we got a rain check for you when we get together.
This is awesome. Thank you.
Shut up, Anthony.
Listen,
we'll have to get together and investigate and go for tiramisu then.
Yes.
Absolutely. So
that makes it all better. I would love to do that. I love meeting new people and investigating with new people, and of course sharing food.
Absolutely.
Thanks, Jason, for that. You guys are awesome. Jason,
thank you very much.
Hey,
Whatever. There was actually, so we stopped and pick up pizza and some sandwiches from the Italian restaurant right by us. And I looked in, I'm like, oh, they got tiramisu, but I didn't want to pick it up.
Oh, you can't eat it in front of her.
Yeah, I couldn't eat it in front of her. It was going to be nice.
No, you become a ghost real quick.
Kick us right off the stream.
Yeah.
So
yeah, that's all.
Let's get back to some good paranormal talk.
Anthony, how's the cannoli?
You need a napkin?
Need a glass of milk with it?
Whacked it with his arm.
Coffee?
There you go.
How you doing?
Show them the bottom of your cup. Is that the one? No?
I should show him mine.
Chris Allgood said, I feel like I'm
The
watching Max
sensitivity
Headroom.
Very true, Chris. Very true. So, yeah.
Hi,
So, hello, everybody. Thanks for tuning in.
I love that you guys are high school sweethearts. That's adorable. And you're still together and you haven't killed each other on an investigation, which is amazing.
Well, still young.
It's
Still
early.
early.
It's early. Now that we're, kind of really.
Well, we did our
investigating.
investigation apart this time.
Yeah, this was, I think the first time in over a year that we've.
He went one way, I went the other way. And I was like,
It
oh,
was
I could
weird.
do it. I'm fine.
You were.
Until the bell wouldn't stop. I'm like, going upstairs. I'm going upstairs. Todd will come back down later. Everybody upstairs.
Aw, that's adorable.
Yeah, you did.
No,
So I always ask this question. What is your favorite place that you've been and why? Is it because it's like extra scary? Is it that you've got some amazing responses? Is it because it's a beautiful location? And I'm sure you each have a different answer.
Well, I don't know. Because that was a good, the house was.
Listen, don't cheat. You have to each give your separate answer.
So give your own. Yeah, give your own.
What is it called? What is it called?
The historic Rainworth Lodge.
That's in Gettysburg.
That's hers.
Yeah, just because it was cool. It was an old house, and we got a lot of responses, even with the cat balls. Things were moving, and we heard voices. And even when we slept, I had a rocking chair across from me, and I just hid under the covers. I swore it was moving the whole night.
Ooh.
But I mean, that's what I would say.
Okay.
Mine. Let's see.
There's so many.
It's tough, because we're in a close. We're we're actually kind of blessed with where we're at in Columbus here. Like we're like 15 minutes to White Hill. We're Fort Mifflin's not far. I don't know, man. That's a tough one. That's a good. I never thought I've heard you ask that on other shows to other guests and never gave it much thought about myself. Man, now that stumped me. I would have to say maybe it's a tough one.
There's so many.
I'm going to say it's a toss up between Gettysburg when we just went for a weekend getaway to the Union Hotel.
Oh, that was crazy too.
And then I'm going to say Penhurst.
So wait, which one's the Union Hotel?
Union Hotel is, so I'm going to say the Union Hotel because that was a kind of my first kind of holy moly moment reviewing footage with a visual
the whole
anomaly.
Weekend.
Yeah.
I was wide awake.
So Union Hotel is, where downtown the Circle is. It's right down, the street. There's the one Irish.
The store.
The Irish.
The Irish store.
Irish store
there.
And then it's right. It's literally a few doors down on the right hand.
I've always wanted to go inside of there.
So when we get there, the sign says, after 8 p.m., you're on your own, call 911. And I said, oh, that doesn't sound good. Where are we? What's happening? And then come to find out we were the only ones in the hotel the second night. First night, there were other people.
So, so the Union Hotel, that was a weekend getaway. And we were on, I think it was the second or third floor.
Mm-hmm.
And, the little kind of living area. And then there was a separate bedroom. We set up a camera, brought, we weren't really there to investigate, but we brought the full spectrum camera and REM pod and a couple, digital recorder and stuff. So first night recorded, second night, really nothing happened. Well, there was noises. You were hearing knocks.
I didn't sleep.
She was hearing noises and knocks and thumps and stuff all weekend. So we stayed. It was a Saturday night and a Sunday night. Now it's March. It's the last weekend of March. So it's still, I guess, technically downtime there. So it was not busy at all. And we ended up the second night when I called back asking about this evidence review and there's been other reports of activity and stuff like that. The hotel person that I spoke with, she's like, yeah, you were the only one that second night. You were the only, there was only 2 people all weekend, us and another customer. We were in the whole hotel the whole weekend. The second night we were the only ones there. So long story short, she had the camera set up. It's like 3:00 in the morning. I sleep like a baby once I go to sleep. Once I'm out, I'm out. A bomb could go off. I'm not waking up unless it's her waking me up. And she's like,
it doesn't work either if I try.
She's like, all right, wake up. Wake up. I can't sleep. There's knocking, this and that. I get up. I'm like half bewildered. I'm like, it's 3:00 in the morning. So I go and I see the camera. I look at the camera. I see that it's recording. I go, I pick it up, and then I just kind of like I pan and looking left and right. And then right where I was panning, there was a little kind of like there's high bar stool chairs and like a knee wall, not a knee wall, a table that was like attached to the wall that you could sit at like a bar, but it was attached to the wall. Did that, went back to bed, get home, start reviewing the footage, and on the full spectrum camera, I caught what is an orb. I mean, that was my first experience and kind of, curiosity with orbs. And it was, I think that was my memorable kind of experience as far as investigating.
Then you put the camera down and went back to bed.
How do you even go back? I would have been running through that place looking for all kinds of, apparitions or whatever. It looks like the neatest place from the outside. I don't know what it's like inside.
Pretty cool.
Yeah, it was cool. They were. I think they're renovating one portion of it at the time when they may be done with it. But so it's weird because like when you check in, like she said, after 8 p.m. nobody's there. It's like you just
call 911.
Really didn't have like a front desk.
Mm-mm.
It was like
it was like behind the stairs.
Behind the stairs, it's like a little office. And the girl, little girl, like she was like, "Hello." She popped her head out, and we were like, "Yeah, hey, we're here to check in." But yeah, it was a neat experience. That's my most memorable, I would say. And then historic Rainworth Lodge is right near behind, close second for me because, I said Penhurst, but they're all. I mean, we've gotten a lot of great. I don't know. It's weird. Like I said, a little bit over a year, and like we're getting some pretty awesome, what we feel is, relevant, awesome results and evidence.
We're lucky. We do get some really cool things.
I'm just like, is this normal?
Yeah.
So that would lead me to another question. So it's only been a year, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you're getting all of these amazing things. In the past, do you think you just weren't paying attention?
Mm-hmm. Oh, I was paying attention, but I wasn't talking about it.
I think she's the
they come find me.
Yeah, they find her.
I don't want them to sometimes because I just want to sleep, but I can't.
I think she's sensitive, and as long as we've been together, I always thought she would always say stuff, kind of like I see this, I see that, I hear this, I see that. The one time we were in Philadelphia doing a ghost history tour in Philadelphia. And we were I forget what building we were near. Was it in the park?
It was in the park.
It was in a park where it was back then. I forget what the name of the park is.
Put the bodies in there.
The bodies.
The prison. Yeah.
So we were there. Carmella's standing in front of me.
I'm on the side and I say, "Stop touching me." He's like, "I'm not." I go, "Okay, you're funny. Don't pull my hair." And then he did it again. I said, "Stop. You're ticking me off now." And then the third time I looked, I said, "Oh crap, he's not there." Pulling my hair.
Just not right there.
And he went the other way.
So
he couldn't take me anymore.
So we think possibly, we don't know.
Well, we asked, and the woman that was running it said, "Oh yeah, it's a guy that just chases women. He just loves to touch women." I said, "All right, we'll knock it off."
So I've, since we started to do the formal investigations and stuff, we've, talking with Richard Michella and a couple other, mediums and stuff. And I think she's a tuning fork. I think she's sensitive, and it's up to her at her pace to, she wants to open up and try and, to go down that, go down that path to further her maybe potential as far as experiences and stuff like that. So
someday, well, even this weekend, we walked up and I said, I've been here before. I've been through this door. To the right is this, to the left is this. And he's like, we've never been here. I'm like, but I feel like I've been here. And then with that, I see a little boy run across the lawn. I'm like, and there's a little boy running across the lawn. He's like, there's nobody. I'm like,
what are you talking about?
So like, boy. And the woman there was like, oh, he's 7. He did pass away when he was here. And then we had another friend, Matt, who's also sensitive. He's like, oh, I saw him. I'm like, oh, thank God.
Do you feel like you want to go, see, Todd, I told you so?
All the time. Mm-hmm. But he doesn't see it, so he doesn't get it. He just goes, okay, whatever. My phone's dead.
Chris was saying, when you are investigating, lead yourself with the area of that.
If you see above that, he said you could see energy focused around her eyes and forehead. And I said, yes, your third eye. There's like,
oh, really?
Like hazy. It's kind of hazy. And he said, yes, exactly. But when you are investigating, lead yourself with that area, kind of like lean forward and just let it draw you to it.
Right.
And he said your guide is a brown-haired female.
Oh, brown-haired female. Cool.
Well, who was brown-haired?
It's me.
She's she's kind of right behind you. Right behind you. Chris and I do this all the time.
Say it. Tell me.
That's fine. Yeah, that's good. I was going to say it could be my mom.
When Bobby Gallo was on our show, right towards the end of the show, Chris and I were going back and forth saying what we saw, and then it kept going, and the show kept going and going and going.
Nice. Yeah, it could be my mom. My mom had brown hair. She passed away. It's going on 17 years now, and she has, even since we've been in the house 18 years. She passed away.
Oh, I see her all the time.
She sees my mom all the
But
time.
in my bathroom, in the doorway in my bathroom. She'll stand right there and he'll say, my mom's here. I'm like, yeah. And I can explain the outfit, but nothing that I've seen her in. It was like from the 80s when he was little.
Man.
That's really interesting because the bathroom is kind of like a sacred place. And that means that she feels comfortable being with you. And it's very personal.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a vulnerable place. Like I always said, like, I don't want spirits coming into the shower with me. That's why when they make horror movies, it's always in the shower.
Right.
It's scary. You don't want to be naked around them.
Right.
No, I'm always like on the bed. I'm never in the bathroom when I see her, so I'm on the other side. She's just in the doorway.
It's still a very personal place. That's where you wash your hair, take your shower, put your makeup on. It's everything personal. That's why they call them your personal items.
Right. I don't mind her. I'd rather see her anywhere. I'm okay with it.
Chris said usually when they show themselves in vulnerable places, they are relatives. I agree with that. Or they're peepers.
Oh, right. Well.
It could be one or the other. So it's definitely her. But you can kind of see, I'm seeing her shape around from the back.
Okay.
I think Anthony's really enjoying his cannolis. He has.
I was just getting ready to ask how many cannolis are left, Anthony.
He hasn't said anything. That's what's left.
That's
what's left.
And it's gone.
He really loves them.
We're jealous.
So, do you have abilities, Todd? I mean, we obviously know Carmella has abilities. I don't think she knows what they are, but
right.
No. You're definitely an intuitive.
Me?
I think Todd is too.
Oh.
Yeah, I occasionally I'm gonna say like I get like deja vu, like you get that I get that deja vu feeling sensation a lot of times. It's like, what the heck was that? Like I could have swore just, was it me? Is it me just getting older, or am I just, or did I, kind of experience that before?
No, you're just hopping dimensions.
Great.
Okay.
Cool. So yeah, I mean, that's something. Maybe we can go down that path together and trying to.
Let me figure out mine first.
Gotcha.
Then I can move on to you.
Anthony decided he's going to type all of his
Okay.
That's
comments. He said, "How you doing? Thanks for the cannolis."
We're glad that you're enjoying
them.
We're super excited that they brought a smile to your face.
He's definitely smiling. He's like a chipmunk right
Like a
now,
chipmunk. Yeah, absolutely.
and there's no echoing.
No echoing. No,
Mhm.
definitely not. So,
Oh, I'm reading. Sorry.
oh, you're reading.
I'm reading what everyone's saying.
So yeah, so it's like I said, it's been a little over a year. We've when we were going back to when we vacationed. Any interesting? What was your favorite vacation? Oh, Key West. Have you ever been to Key West?
We've been there the last 3 years, and we're going again this year. We love it there.
That's right. Right.
We love it there too.
And now when we went there, we did Ghost History Tour, and I'm going to ask for permission from Robert the doll. Robert, we're going to talk about you.
I have one up there.
Do you?
Yeah, hang on. Keep talking.
Now we didn't actually see him. It was just the tour guide had a picture, but it was the actual house.
Oh, yeah.
Oh wow, look at that.
Mm-hmm.
Hi, Robert. Nice
Robert.
to see you.
I'd say hello and tell him he's handsome every day.
Oh no! Why are the dogs barking?
Oh no, that's the idiot.
All right.
So yeah, so when we did that ghost tours at Key West, that was an interesting. Learn a lot of history about that. One thing, I forget the name. I forget the name of the bar where it ended.
Oh yeah.
The tour. So
it's where they hang all the bras, right?
all the female.
Is it Sloppy Joe's? I don't
I don't know if it was Sloppy Joe's or right.
So. There's like a big tree in the
Captain
middle
Jack's.
of it.
Maybe Captain Jack's. Maybe it's called. Maybe.
Yes.
Captain Jack's. And there's a big old tree that was that goes through that they built around, and I think they believed somebody
hung themselves.
That had hung themselves there. That was an interesting location because learning a little about the history of why they think Key West is kind of much activity is because of the limestone.
Yes.
Of the grounds.
He said he met him. Chris met Robert the doll. Oh,
nice,
I just
said it. We haven't officially gone to where he's at in his museum or whatever.
I'm a little afraid.
It's like is it Fort Martello or?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, I think it's Fort Martello. He's really neat.
Captain Chris. That's what it was. Captain Tony's, Chris. Thanks. Yeah, that was it. Captain Tony's.
He would know.
Yep, Captain Tony's. And so I asked just out of curiosity. So like you had the wall and it was like the limestone or cement wall or whatever. And they had glass bottles stuck in. I'm sure you know why, right? It's what he explained to us is to allow the spirits to be able to go through the glass because I don't know if they can't go through the limestone. Is that?
I think they get trapped, don't they?
Yeah. So that was kind of the understanding. So that was kind of interesting, looking back on that vacation and kind of doing that.
I don't know, but we should all plan a trip to Key West now.
Paranormal trip to Key West.
Yeah, we did the ghost walk. We did the train ride, which was fun.
Yep. So Chris was saying, so that Captain Tony's is where
so that is correct. Okay.
The draw bar and where the hanging tree is. Yep. And then he's also saying that the limestone traps.
So the limestone traps all of the deceased there because there was the cemetery for the children, and it's known as like the Island of Bones or something.
Right. Yep. So that was
a fishing trip, Chris.
Fishing? Did he say fishing trip?
A fishing trip. It could be a fishing trip.
Yeah,
I know, right?
Trip. Yeah,
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, it would be cool.
I think we should do it.
Mark it on your calendar.
Everybody's invited. Let's all go.
Everybody's invited. Let's go.
It's such a beautiful place. I mean, it really. a lot of culture. Like,
You got cannolis?
We got cannolis.
They have them there. Might not be as good as here, but I'm sure they have them there. They have key lime, which is my favorite.
Me
Yeah,
too. That's
Dude, I
like
love
my second from tiramisu.
That's my top one. I don't like tiramisu or cannolis. I know I'm weird.
She's half Irish, half Italian.
No
That's
cannoli.
quite the mix. You must be fiery.
Don't tick me off.
She's very sweet, but you get her fired up. Forget it.
Forget it. Forget about it.
Anthony, yeah. So we are going to be in Gettysburg for the bash. Yep. So what we were talking about? Oh, the Key West, and then I'm just trying to think of our honeymoon. We did. So when I mentioned part of the bio, we did Alcatraz. We toured it. That was a neat experience. That was back in 1996 when we got married. And
we're only 29.
We were only 29, right?
We are only.
We're only 29, right? That was experience. That was. Could you feel anything? I mean, I know it's not that long ago. Wink, wink.
I don't think. I think I was like scared, or I don't know. I was really we had to wear the headphones.
Yeah, we did the walking tour, and
it was just weird. It might be different now if I went compared to.
That's why I'd like to go back, to like that location. Not thinking about it, at the time you're there on your honeymoon and you're doing touristy type of stuff and whatnot.
I think the headphones, it kind of like changes things. First of all, you feel like wonky.
Yeah.
You're losing a sense instead of using that sense to help you, but then you're also like gaining senses that are heightened.
Right.
But you have all those other people around you, and that's kind of
too much going
on. And something like that is, there's all that leftover anger and hostility and murder, and there's so much going on there. It's kind of hard to sum it up.
Yeah, there was a lot. I remember just being like really quiet, just trying to figure it out, trying to just walk around and listen.
Yeah, that's the best thing you can do.
Mm-hmm.
Anthony, you were there in 1986 as a prisoner.
He's got to type it out. Hold on.
Did you? So what were you? Did you have any experiences there, Anthony?
Did you draw anything while you're there?
Did Al Capone come through to you?
You had a bad experience.
Oh, you had a bad experience.
Oh no. Not good.
So we had, when we were there, we did there was actually an ex-prisoner there, that was.
Oh, while you were there talking.
Yeah. When we were there, so, he had written a book about his time there and stuff like that. I forget. I think we have it.
We do.
We have the book somewhere.
Somewhere.
I'm not a big reader. I will tell you that the one thing about what paranormal investigation in this community has provided to me is I was never a big reader. I'm starting to become a better reader, starting to read, books, reading, Joey Gallo brought up the Project Orb book, which I, just about halfway through finishing it, found some interesting information, kind of correlation to some of the captures that we've had that kind of makes sense. Obviously Ron and Lourdes's.
He's sick.
Oh, you were sick. Oh no, that's not good.
Oh gosh. Well, that was probably from the anger.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah. It probably had a lot of an emotional drain on you.
Yeah, it's like baggage that sticks around. Oh, besides the cannoli, my smells. So you, because of the paranormal, you started to read more so you can get the background and everything.
Right. That, and then just different, so I started reading Ron's books, started reading a couple of Richard about, mediumship, and the Project Orb. So it's providing an avenue to me to try and learn and educate myself more about the field.
Well, there was a white thing that just went that way and into the mirror.
So the mirror over here is a mirror from my grandmother.
And a white.
Is
Or
it is
some
it a portal?
flew over his head and went into.
So it's a portal then.
Maybe.
So we've had some now where we're at, not to be jumping around, but where we're at in our development. So we have a tree that's at on the edge of our development that's called the Keeler Oak. So it has ties to the Revolutionary War and George Washington coming through here. And then right down the street from us was it's called the Battle of Petticoat Bridge Road. It was like a skirmish leading up to the Battle of Trenton. And they just did their first reenactment the beginning of December. It was a neat experience. But I would imagine all this area through Mount Holly and where, because we're in between Trenton and Mount Holly where we're at, there's a lot of, I'm sure there was a lot of fighting going on, little battles, stuff like that. So we've had some experiences in the house that were just like, actually 2 nights ago, we were like,
something crashed
down here. And
we were all upstairs. No, the dog was even upstairs.
Yeah.
Everyone was upstairs. I'm like, what was that? He's like, I don't know. Don't talk about it.
I roll over.
I
She's
think
like, there, good luck.
I think a lot of times it's that it's someone who does have abilities and they're like a beacon. And they kind of flock to you because they want to give a message to someone, or they want to share their story, or they want to, kind of show off. It's whatever. Like when my abilities first started to really blow up and my senses were super heightened, I had people walking all over the inside of my house, and I was like, what the hell is this?
That's what I'm afraid of.
Yeah.
That's why I won't. I'm afraid to open up because I don't want that.
Well, you can control it too, though. I just didn't know how to control it. I had no one to learn from. I had these abilities my whole life, and I kind of just saw 1 or 2 that were trying to give me a message. This was full blown, like, a mob boss at the end of the hall, a Victorian lady turning the corner. There was a kid that was decapitated and in basketball clothes on the couch. It was like the gambit. It was every era. Everyone was colliding, and
wow,
they were probably just as confused as I was. So, I can understand why you are not sure of what's going on right now, and you're probably just opening up slowly and it's starting to seep in. But I think it's better if you kind of let it start to open up, because otherwise some night you're going to have some guy hanging over you in bed going,
I have.
It's not fun when they knock on your forehead.
Can I tell you can I share the one story?
Yeah.
So we were laying in bed, and this is going maybe about a month ago. And I'm sleeping, she's on this side. I'm sleeping. She straight up sits up. What's that? She starts pointing. What's that? I'm like, are you all right? What's wrong? I said, nothing. I don't.
Bug.
She's
circle,
like, there's a bug. Something.
Kill it. She's like, there's nothing there.
I said, there's nothing there, honey.
Kill it. I said, can't.
Oh my gosh.
You're good. Instead, he's like, all right, I'm just gonna roll over. But he thought like it was gonna be The Exorcist. My head was gonna then start.
Yeah,
to
I
spin.
didn't know what to expect. I'm just like,
I just
are
sat
you
up
right?
and went there. Corner.
And then she got up, and I think you went into the bathroom. And then you came back, and then you laid down. And then I get up the next day, and I'm like, do you remember what you did last night?
I do.
And she's like, yeah, there was a. I'm like, yeah.
It looked like the ball from Harry Potter. You know the ball that they hit. What is the?
Oh, the Quidditch. Is it Quidditch?
The
yes,
Quidditch, yep.
That's what it looked like. And it looked like it was just flying in the corner. And I kept saying, big bug, big bug. Big bug. I just wanted him to say, I got it, walk over and like swat at it. And then I'd be like, all right, cool, thanks. And I would have laid back down mid city. He's like, no, nothing's there. Just agree with me.
Yes, dear.
Anthony said that if you need to talk about things, you could contact him and that you guys could talk about it. And you can contact me too. I love to talk about this.
Yeah, I told her, I says, when you're ready, reach out to.
But that's like when I saw the little boy, I've never seen that before. Like run across the lawn. I'm like, something just went by.
You'll see a lot of that, honestly. The more and more you develop this.
So Chris, I see Chris says he's found an Airbnb that sleeps up to 8 between 3 and 4K for 4 days. That's only $500 a person.
We could do it.
Yeah. Well, I've seen that. I've seen some that are like 8 to 12 people for 3 to 4 for a week. They're just like places that people rent out while they're not there, and they're in like a condo complex, and they have pools and, you know, workout rooms and whatever, and they're really beautiful. I mean, I'm thinking, what's wrong with this place? But the same places keep popping up on Airbnbs. And the last couple times that we went, we rented these really huge RVs, and we've gone to Boyd's, which is right on the beach. And we took the dogs with us, and it had a pool, it had a rec room, laundry facilities, and we were, you know, only a couple minutes from Smathers, and you could just drive right into town. And we loved it there, and we loved the RV because you could do whatever you want. You can cook all your meals, and it was like cheap. It was like $2,500 for the space and the RV itself, and you could pick whatever RV you want. But we, of course, got the biggest because we hate each other, and we have to get lots of stuff.
You need to be
You
separated.
need a little bit of space. Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
It was mostly because of the dogs, really. Yeah. But we like to vacation as much as you guys do, so we can all do this, and you know,
Absolutely.
it'll be like a para vacation.
We can.
Yep.
Paracation.
Paracation.
That's a new word that's going to be floating around now.
Yeah. And then I saw somebody, I don't know who it was. It was something about para dessert, like a para dessert.
That was me too.
Oh, that was you. I didn't see. I wasn't sure who it was, but I saw.
This is going to be a new vocabulary book that we
There
come
you
up
go.
with.
It's
Para party.
a new niche within paranormal investigation.
Yeah, and Chris said para party
Para party.
Para
There
party.
you go. Absolutely.
for adults.
Yep. Yeah, it's a good time. We always try and have a good time. We're St. Augustine.
We didn't do much there. I feel like we were only. Oh, that was a creepy hotel. That was like red rum down the hallway. You look down there, and I expected the twins to be there. We were in a room like the backboard was red velvet.
Oh my God.
But I swear I heard
something Villa da Costa Teal or something like that. It's literally right near where the fort is, St. Augustine, and the lighthouse and stuff like that. So we listen, you're always trying to find the cheapest airfare. We ended up, it was like the 3:00. So it was like the first flight out of Philly to go when we went down, bless you, went down for, when we went down there. And so we flew out of Philly. It was 5:00 flight, first flight. We get down there. By the time you're done, it's like a 20 it's like a 20-hour flight. Well, we didn't,
Is he having a sugar?
Go
Too much
He
sugar?
doesn't know who he is.
so you try and catch a little sleep before getting up at 3:00 to go catch the flight. So it's like you're kind of you really didn't get that much rest. We got down there and we were like just bug-eyed, bleary. And I want to say we were asleep by 6:30. We really didn't do much. I was, maybe not her. But yeah, it was.
Things were moving in the room. We went to a candy store. I had a bag of candy, and I said, "Something's moving the bag." And of course, I hid under my covers again. And I woke up, and it was all over the table. And it wasn't us. It wasn't us.
Oh my God.
It wasn't me unless I was
here.
sleepwalking looking for candy.
No, you weren't. Well, I was awake. You weren't. I just heard like rustling, and then the bag was like, I said, "Okay, well, red rum."
So we're stopping there. We're stopping in 2 places on our way through. We're going to stop in Charleston, and then we're going to stop in St. Augustine. So let us know where that is, because we'll stay there.
Yeah. And again, I think we were the only people in there.
Yeah, I don't.
Because you would go up the elevator, you're like, "There's nobody here," but I'm not looking down that hallway, and I would just go this way, like right to the room, head down, don't make eye contact.
Yeah, it was definitely like a scene out of The Shining.
The Shining, yeah. It really was. But then we went to the distillery. That's a great place to go.
Yeah.
Or a distillery, or what is it?
St. Augustine Distillery.
Distillery.
Yeah, we went there just for a tasting tour and stuff like that. So we didn't spend because we were heading down to Disney World. So we just for the flight we ended up flying into Jacksonville.
So we weren't there long.
We stayed there one night, and then it was quick in and out. So that's one place that we'd like to go back and
St.
spend a little bit
Augustine.
more time, investigate.
It's supposedly like extremely haunted, one of the most haunted places.
Yeah, supposedly.
Is it the oldest?
Well,
Yes.
there's the oldest city, I think, or right. So yeah.
So we should go there too. St. Augustine, then
Add it
Key
to
West,
the list.
and then make a quick trip to Disney. It'll be fine.
Doesn't it seem backwards?
What's this?
Whatever way. We'll find our way.
That's only
Play with the dead and then go hang out with the kids.
Yeah.
Yeah, why not?
Who is?
I'm
What
sure
are you
we
saying,
can find
Anthony? Who's
something there.
new?
Oh,
Spirits?
that's
Spirits?
Ron. Ron has his equipment out, and I guess he's getting.
Oh, gotcha. Ron.
answers
Right,
on
right. That's.
I think, is that an Ovilus or is it, Ron? Are you using an Ovilus or are you using a Parabox? What are you using? But Anthony's saying spirits with the spirits.
Spirits with the
We could
spirits.
definitely do distilleries with the spirits.
Yeah.
Yep, definitely. So
We like trips like that. By the way, I wanted to mention, this is the first night I have been here without glasses.
I see that.
Oh, yeah.
I do. What happened?
Because
Did you get
the
contact?
eye doctor said, well, I've had contacts, but the doctor gave me bifocal contacts.
Oh, I'm not going there.
They make them.
They do.
Contacts. So how do they do that?
They're just, I don't know. I thought it was going to be hard to get used to because I was going to be dizzy.
Right.
But now I'm going to get the progressive lenses for glasses. And they said there's no line. I said, if there's a line, I'm not getting them.
No, they don't have
They'll
a
all look old. And they said there are no lines.
They don't. I have that. I have to get that too. That's why I never went back to the eye doctor. But I need that too. But everybody says they're a little hard to get used to, but there's no lines and you'll be fine in a few days.
Well, if this can work, I'm
Mhm.
not wearing glasses. I'm going
Right.
to look young and sassy. So
There you go.
So that's
Yeah.
probably what you need.
That's
You
probably what I need.
the bifocal.
These are just reading glasses, but I found, so I went for my last checkup. I'm like, Doc, I can't see here. He's like, your vision's hasn't changed. You're fine. I'm like, yeah, but I can't. When I look down and I'm reading stuff, he's like, oh, go to the dollar store and get 1.25s.
mine was 1.75. My vision kept changing. I had to wear either glasses or contacts. When I wore my contacts, I had to wear glasses. So I couldn't even see from here to my computer. It was that bad.
Because
So
I
I'm
saw
like, you need to fix me.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I have. So I got contacts on, but I found because there's really not that much change between this and this. Just reading the small print and stuff, I just find it easier now just to wear the reading glasses so I can just read like I'm reading the screen and stuff, like the comments and stuff like that. So it's just a little bit easier. I don't wear them all the time, but for the most part,
Chris, I don't know how you do that because I would be throwing up wearing one eye for reading. I wouldn't
Well,
be able
that's
to.
what I thought they said you had to do, but you don't have to do that now.
Not with these.
Okay.
And I put them in and I started crying because I could see like
see,
the table
right?
in front of me and I could read it. I was
that's cool.
crying and I'm like, can I hug you?
And there's not like a certain way you have to put it in.
No.
Oh,
Oh, that's weird.
that is weird.
Yeah, that's. Huh.
Your mind adjusts. My mind is a mess, so it would never work. I'm sorry.
Nice.
Make appointments.
Make appointments.
It helps. Trust me. It works. So I thought tonight I'm going to wear my contacts and I'm going to show it off.
Nice.
You look
Very
fabulous.
Nice. You look fabulous.
Thank you.
Anthony, how you doing over there?
He's wearing his glasses and eating his cannolis.
So did you talk to New Jersey or New York about your licensing agreement with Fuhgeddaboudit yet?
Yes, we need to know this. And if anybody doesn't understand that, leaving, is it New York? There's a sign that says, leaving New York, forget about it.
And then in New Jersey, it says,
They have different little slogans in New Jersey on the, they have the road signs, DOT.
I have my phone.
They have a bunch of them. It
guys
says,
sent it to
forget
us.
about it. Oh, forget about it. So.
If I could find our conversation, I'll say it.
So
I have no shame.
I forget what to say.
I forgot what it said too.
Forget about it,
Yeah,
or
no
something about
yes.
texting. And
yeah,
forget
it's
about
like,
it.
slogan just to make sure you're not, you're paying attention to the road, not being on your phone type of thing. So.
Where did our conversation go?
It was in there. I wish I could look, but my phone's dead.
Do we have two different conversations though?
I
I
don't
don't know.
think so. No, it's nothing starting it.
Really?
Yeah. Like this says it's full, but when I plug that
That's
in,
weird.
it's not charging.
Oh, I think it just. Oh, here it is. It says. Now that I can read, it says leaving Brooklyn. Well, then get the fuck out of here. By the way, it's sauce,
It's sauce. Right. We talked about that.
Right.
which I think is hysterical.
Yeah, that's interesting. Sauce and versus gravy.
And you think it's very subtle the way they did that, by the way.
Exactly.
So, what do you, when you guys investigate, do you go just
Sauce,
It's
he said.
sauce. All right, I'll start calling it sauce.
It's sauce.
It's sauce.
It's sauce.
It's sauce.
Do you guys just go by yourselves, or do you go with the group?
It depends. We did go by. We really don't go by ourselves.
No, so we have another couple, Matt and Lori, that
We go with.
we go with, and you
We've
know,
gone by ourselves a
we've
couple
gone
times.
by ourselves a couple times. We went to Selma Mansion last Halloween. This past Halloween, it was an open investigation, and I was just like, "Oh, let's go." We've never been there. You know, it actually turned out to be almost like a private investigation because there was only like six or seven of us. You know, that ended up showing there, so it was nice.
Very nice.
That was one I think when we did, you know, the EVPI, show about a month ago. We had a pretty interesting. We were in the upstairs one bedroom, and we were getting responses on the REM pod, and then I had a cat ball on a chair, and on the clip on review, you see the cat ball, and we're asking a question, and then you see the cat ball trigger light up and the REM pod simultaneously go off simultaneously. And then when I made the screen, I had to adjust the brightness a little bit, but because I thought I had seen like a little white speck or something anomaly. And when I made it a little bit brighter, and then you like zoom in, you can actually see as this little white speckle drops straight down and into the chair, the cat ball goes off as the REM pod. So there was some type of energy or something that caused that to happen. So that was a pretty neat experience. We had anything else good happen at Selma?
I don't think so. It was a lot. We heard voices. You guys said you saw like a shapeshifter upstairs or something in that bathroom.
Yeah. There was another, somebody else that was there doing the investigation. They kept seeing a figure on the third floor. Was it in the bathroom or near the bathroom?
It was near the bathroom.
So, have you ever been to Selma Mansion, Maureen?
I have not, no, but I've heard it's amazing.
Yeah, it's a pretty neat. It's neat.
Yeah.
I mean, it's in a very congested area. I think. Anthony, you've been to Selma, right?
He said you guys are going to Montgomery House.
Mm-hmm.
We are, yes, with Raul.
Raul.
We actually did an investigation down at the Ritz Theater on, I think, what was it, the 10th?
Mm-hmm.
They had a couple of weeks ago. We just happened to be there. Decided to go last minute and found out that Raul was going to be there to help. And we had been there about a year ago doing an investigation. So with Montgomery House, after we did the investigation at the Ritz Theater, Montgomery House we were talking about, or Raul said, he was talking to Chris about coming down there. And I said, yeah, just let us know. We got to find out, kind of just coordinate dates. And I says, we're flexible as far as weekends. I says, Carmella has off on Mondays. I'm flexible. I can, take off and, either make it a long weekend or whatever, but we're just waiting. I know Raul was away on business, I think. So I was just waiting for him to come back and then try to figure out dates that work best and to hop on down there and do an investigation. So that would be exciting. We're looking forward to that.
He's really funny to investigate with.
He is.
I know.
Yeah, it was a neat. It was actually our first time. We've been a couple to in supporting Ron and Lourdes and the digital seance, the Staticom project.
But they said Staticom when we were up in that room.
Where
at
the Ritz Theater. Yeah. So yeah, getting to know Raul a little bit better. He is a funny dude, and we enjoyed his investigation techniques and methods and stuff.
And the Ritz, oh my God, what an amazing place.
Yep. Yeah, we were upstairs in the rehearsal room, and we had it was the Fastmo box was going. We had the tripwire out. We had to pull that up because there was, I think that's like where they have their computer banks and stuff. So there was
a lot of
electrical
stuff.
A lot of electrical. So I wasn't it was getting just constantly going off. So I'm like, pull that up. Had a REM pod out, and then
we were just sitting there asking questions.
Just
we
doing
didn't even
Q&A.
pick it up that it said it while we were there. When we went home the next night, we were going through stuff. I'm like, did that just say Staticom?
Yeah.
And it did. We kept replaying it. It was like it was a woman's voice, but I don't want to say alien, but kind of like Tron.
Right, like extraterrestrial, kind of like ET, like almost.
And it's
so we heard the first two parts of the what the voice said that came across. It said something needs Staticom. So we heard we didn't hear. So we heard need Staticom. So I said, Ron, I got the clip and I sent it to Ron, and I said, hey, listen, I says, we got something. I says, we know it says Staticom. He comes back and his first response, like he puts the emoji with the mind blown. He's like, I think he wasn't sure at first. He thought it was just us talking in the room. But then he realized whatever it was coming through the device, and that it was a female voice-ish sounding, and it said the people need Staticom.
Said that.
That's not the first time that's been said, though.
There, or just in general?
Other places.
Right. So
because we had this conversation before, and we even discussed the fact that there is kind of like a synthesized voice.
Yes.
That was in my house, and he had that same look on his face, and he goes, "This keeps happening." I had two little beings that came upstairs, and they were at the top of the stairs, and I could see them from in my bed, and the sound of them walking up the stairs, it was kind of like padded feet.
Mm-hmm.
That woke me up because I could hear it in my head while I was sleeping. Right. And then it got to the top of the stairs and I heard them walking. And then I heard this voice say, healing you. And it was like a very synthesized voice. So this is not just happening in certain places. This is starting to happen in a lot of places.
Yeah. That's a good
that is a
word
good
to describe. To describe that.
But we didn't hear it there. Like I didn't pick up on that there until we got home, and I said, replay that. Did it just say Staticom?
No.
So
it was crazy.
And there was another person with us, and he didn't pick it up either.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
But then we didn't hear it until we got home.
But we even talked about the fact that whatever this is, it's like this synthesized voice. It's almost like alienish.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I really believe that that's what it is. It's saying people need Staticom.
Right.
That whole sentence is being said.
Right.
And I've always said to Ron, like, this is like a payphone to the other side. And it's going to be the thing that people are going to be like, we're not going to be needed. Psychic mediums aren't going to be needed because people really want to talk to their loved ones. It's not going to be that they want to hear my voice saying what that person is telling.
That person says, right?
You know, they want to actually talk to that person.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, and then even with, we heard a little bit of, with Tony and Cherie and his up, what he, 2.0 with the Staticom now, the clarity is, it's pretty kind of, amazing what you hear coming across in the clarity, and you're able to hear the tonality of what's coming through and stuff like that. It's pretty awesome stuff what they're doing. So
yeah, it is. I mean, I know we're proud of them and all that they've accomplished and what they're doing, and they're amazing people on top of that. You can't get a better grip.
Right.
Yeah, we're very fortunate to have our paths cross with you and Anthony and Richard and other investigators. Matt and Lori that we investigate with, they're good people. We right in the beginning we had a connection. What was our first interaction? It was actually down the street with
it was at Columbus Inn.
It was at the Columbus Inn.
He came to me and said, there's two men, a father, a brother. His name is Chris. His name is Robert. And I'm just staring because that was my father and my brother. They both passed away. And he's like, oh, I'm like, shh, don't say anything. Don't say anything. Don't have like a normal face. Don't be shocked. And he was going through this whole story. He's like, I don't know why
people down the street, or they were spirits that were down the street.
Well, we went to Columbus Inn. So Matt, I don't know. He said just this. I guess it was a spirit, something talking to him, that it was telling him, you need to go tell her that Robert and Chris are okay. And, but he was telling a story as if it was his friends. And I said, oh, that's really mean. He's like, I didn't know why they were telling me to tell you. So that was our first interaction. And I said,
Right.
okay, we got to go.
Because I was going to say, if it was a Robert and a Chris down the street,
But Robert and Chris were my brother. My
it
brother.
could be like a synchronicity to connect you to something else.
Yeah, I don't think he knew anybody by that name.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
He just said they just keep coming to me, and I got to tell you that Robert and Chris are okay. They're together.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, all right. Don't say anything. Keep a straight face. Don't let them know you know
That's
people.
really hard sometimes, especially if it's like something that's going to bowl you over. That's
Right.
that amazing.
And I just went, okay, thank you. I gotta go. Get in the car.
Yeah, that was our kind of, we were just really just starting to kind of really start to do. That's going back to 2022, like August-ish of 22, September 22.
August, yeah.
And, we've been, we went to Gettysburg. We're actually going to Gettysburg next weekend with them. We're staying at the historic Greenworth Lodge. We had a neat experience there. Well, the neat experience there with the cat ball rolling off the table, like it straight up. It got
Didn't
pushed.
roll off.
Well, something pushed it, and it rolled when we were there. And it was just,
But then it came back to me.
Yeah.
And then it went back. Just
So
one.
it's rolling back and forth?
Yeah, but it stopped. And there were three together. The middle one went to not even to the edge, to the middle of the table, and then came back to me and then went back and forth, but never moved any other ball, which was weird.
Yeah, the historic that lodge was used by the Confederate. I think his General Meade. He actually some of his troops, and he even stayed there at during the battle, as they were during the battle they stayed there for a certain period of time. So there's a lot of history. It's a neat place if you ever when you're out in Gettysburg, if you get a chance, definitely look him up. Daniel, Daniel, who is the owner, great guy, very knowledgeable, and we're looking forward to going back to see. And that's the thing. So we're starting to go back to some of the locations to try and compare and see if we get similar results with first time experiences, investigations, and stuff like that. So. I think Anthony, did you? Yeah, Anthony, you asked. We're not that far from White Hill Mansion. We're 15 minutes. We've only been there once.
Oh my gosh.
And something wanted to marry me in the basement.
Yeah, something wanted to marry Carmella in the basement.
At least it didn't want to kill you.
No, it didn't.
No, it didn't.
But my name actually came across the Phasma box, which is odd because my name isn't common.
Right.
Not really common, no.
So
no, the curtain moved behind me, and this other guy we were with, he's like, I'd get up if I were you. And I'm like, why? He's like, just get up and move over there. I'm like, all right. Well, the curtain had like brushed the back of my head, and there was nothing behind it. It was cement. So there wasn't like a grate, there wasn't air conditioning. That's all right. Then it said my name, and then it said it wanted to marry me. And he said, oh, sorry, she's already married. And then we had this, I don't know, was it a laugh or something evil? Oh, something was thrown in the back room.
Hey, Jenny, how are you? Yeah, Jenny had a comment saying, she's right. It's like, we're having a conversation on this side talking about spirits and experiences and stuff. She's like, yeah, imagine, what they're saying on the other side and on having in the same little circles kind of conversations. It's, it's a pondering, interesting thought to,
I could just see them walking around going, cannoli, creme brulee.
Anthony, you don't know anything about cannoli.
Later.
Forget about it.
I would prefer angel food cake, please.
Oh, I would too. That's good too.
Anthony's still not talking.
No, we're just doing sign language.
White Hill Man. White Hill Mansion was there 50 years before the U.S. was a country.
Yeah, Chris, I would agree with that. Yeah, Chris is saying as far as not getting political, but yeah.
I don't think you even have to get political to laugh
Say
about
that.
that.
Yeah, no. Mm-mm.
We live our lives and we do the best, and all that other crazy stuff that goes on. Let them deal with it.
We can't control it.
You can only control what you can control in your your immediate kind of environment.
Is that you moving? Or
Yeah, that's
something's
me.
happening
Yeah, no,
behind me?
that's me. That was that.
Mm-mm.
Oh, so you want to see something neat?
Sure.
So this, and have you heard of the Creeper Gallery in New Hope?
Yes.
So the Creeper Gallery in New Hope, they're actually they're relocating because they're building 3 boutiques or something like that. So Donna Marie, I think her name is, they're relocating to Main Street, but they do online auctions with different items that come into the shop. Well, this one is a 32nd degree Mason Scottish Rite hat,
Okay.
and the initials on there are GFS Junior. So believed to have an attachment. There was a reading that went with it. So I was kind of actually drawn to it when I saw it, and it was weird. So you're talking about that intuitiveness earlier in the show, Maureen. So when we got married, we had our wedding reception in Trenton at the Masonic Temple. Now we go to Disney a lot and Haunted Mansion. We love the Haunted Mansion. This just kind of spoke to me because of
It
right?
looks like the hats.
It looks like the hat at the Haunted Mansion, right? That the
Bellhop.
bellhop or whatever. So, but that's the. So this is now we've had some activity with it, but it's been quiet. Well, at least we
Don't
think
jinx
it's been
it.
quiet. But knock on wood. But maybe this is the every once in a while that we've heard in the house too, possibly.
Yeah.
So
Oh, my phone went on. Oh, that's
the
weird.
Didn't
but
you just your phone died?
And
what's
mine
that?
just went on. Mine's been dead this whole entire time, and now it's on. So you're
That's
talking about
so weird.
Oh, maybe yeah. So
maybe he touched it.
So
and
we
put it
don't
back
know
on.
the initials. We only know the initials. We don't know the actual name. So maybe when we get together, I'll bring it to see if you can maybe try and get a reading on it or something like that.
Yeah, I would love that.
But and I
Who's Carolyn?
I don't know. Oh, maybe that's Ronald from New York.
Ron has Caroline and Seek.
Okay. And
Do we know them?
I don't know. Does anybody know a Caroline?
I don't.
Now, my mom's name was Carol.
Carolyn.
Carolan.
Maybe it's getting the wrong pronunciation.
Possibly. Yeah. So,
And Seek could be the answers to what you have in your hands.
right. So what was I? Yeah. So as far as intuitiveness, so that like I was saying, I was kind of drawn to that. I had seen that they were going to do the online auction, forgot about it, and then I just happened to be scrolling through on Facebook when they went live, and then it was just when they were getting ready to do the auction for the hat. So I was like, oh, perfect timing. Coincidence? I don't know.
Interesting.
So
We're making lights flicker. I know. I think it's me. I think I just suck everybody's energy.
My lights have been flickering for the last 2 days.
really.
Mm.
I'm an energy mover and energy worker. And when I get angry or stressed out or overly upset, my lights start to flicker. Sometimes it gets so bad that the light bulbs shatter.
Well, maybe that makes sense to maybe, our lights flicker too. Maybe I'm not saying that.
I don't like lights on. I like lights off.
She likes lights
I
off.
do too.
So maybe that's that then. And then our lights upstairs in the hallway always either burn out or they flicker. So I just say shut this is too
I always
bright.
blame
for
it
me.
on bad wiring.
Well, we never thought about it.
That's
Not until you said that,
everyone
it made me think that. But
that's what everyone here says, but I can actually tell them to stop and they'll stop.
Really? And crazy things happen at work and they always yell at me. Like the TVs all of a sudden will just all go off.
It's anything
Or
electronic.
one-
Computers, phones.
Shut off.
Mm-hmm.
And the Dr. V would say to me, "Did you bring somebody here? Can you tell them to stop touching everything? Can you just get rid of them and tell them to go home?" All right.
It could be something that is coming along with you, but it could just be you.
Could be. But I like dogs.
Ask questions. Ask, can you stop, or can you make, just like, we have lights across the top of our mirror in our bathroom,
Right.
and I'll say, can you stop this one from flickering and have this one flicker, and it'll do it.
Oh, I could try.
So that means you would be an energy worker also. So then you can move energy, or you could change energy, or you can even body jump a person and make them, change what they're thinking or change their energy. I had a girlfriend who was really freaked out about a job interview, and she was at the point where she was so worked up. She said, "I'm throwing up. I can't do this. I'm not going." And I said, "I can change that for you, but you're just going to have to stay calm." And before she could say anything, I literally morphed into her, and she panicked, and she like flipped me out of her, and it felt like a fish was inside of me that was flipping in my stomach. And she hung up on me, and then she called me later and she said, "How dare you do that to me?" And I said, "How did you do that?" And she said, I was a lot calmer than I ever thought I could be, because I'm not somebody who's a calm person. And I said, "But did you do okay?" And she said, "Absolutely." And I said, "You're welcome." And she said, "I hate you, and I'm not talking to you for a while." I didn't hear from her for a couple of weeks.
Sorry, not to interrupt. I just saw Chris's. That's why I was holding up the cigars, because I saw Chris's question asking if I smoke cigars. So
I do too.
She smokes cigars too.
I smoke the girly cigars.
The flavored ones.
They're still cigars.
Yep.
So what I was going to say is, the other day when we were in,
I did not, Chris. I did not have a cigar before the show.
Where were we with Matt and Lori? When I was on the third floor, and I said, "Guys, I feel like I have to shut my eyes and I have to go to sleep. Like, I feel so drained." I shut my eyes, and then this face was in my face, and I got scared, and I said, "I don't know what's happening." And it just kept coming like in and out. It was a man's face that kept coming to me. And then somehow I felt like I was floating. I felt like I wasn't there. It was the weirdest thing ever. And then I got scared and I jumped out of it. And then I'm like, that was really weird. I don't know what just happened.
So Chris is saying, might someone be visiting that he was getting a strong smell of
my
cigar.
uncle, my brother,
her brother,
my uncle,
her
constantly,
uncle,
they always smoke cigars,
always
the
smoke
really
cigars.
gross, smelly ones.
So it could be her Uncle Tom, Chris.
Or my brother Chris.
Or her brother Chris. That's a possibility.
Was the man that was in your face, was he Native American?
Now, so I would say no, but his face was, it's going to sound weird, really yellow. But to me, it was like more of not an Amish, but like, they had the facial hair like that. Definitely, I don't think it was Native American, but there at that place, there's a lot of that.
Yeah,
where were we? We were just there the other day with the Masonic.
Oh, the Peachfield Plantation?
No.
Or West Hill.
Yeah.
West Hill Manor. Yeah. So West Hill Manor is.
But in the basement,
location.
they have a lot of the Native Americans. We actually got chased. Matt and I got chased up the steps. He's like, "Run, run." And then you hear the feet behind us. And we just started running up the steps. And she said, "Oh, yeah, there's, they're angry. They don't want you."
Anthony's saying yes, too. I'm thinking that so there's a connection between the cigars. What I saw in my head when you described the fact that you had a face in your head, so you were either astral projecting or remote viewing or something, and that was the face of the Native American that you saw that used to be around that land.
Right.
I mean, I felt like he was trying. He just came really close to me, and then he backed up and then came close. And I said, "Okay, this is getting weird." And I got scared, and I just kind of snapped out of it.
I don't think he was trying to scare you.
I think he was just kind of
connecting.
Right.
Things.
I didn't feel like it was bad. I just got scared because I didn't know what was happening.
Mm-hmm. Because as soon as Chris had cigars, that was what brought you to that remembrance. And then that's what I had in my head. Chris, what do you think?
Now, the other thing, and I'm going to bring it up as he was trying to get her, what? get near or to hear him.
This is really weird.
What is that?
That's
Is
a
that
pencil?
It just fell out of somewhere?
No, I have this with me.
Ah,
And it came with this, and it's sitting right here.
okay.
Who has a pencil?
Who has a pencil? Oh, that's what Ronald was
Oh,
saying.
that's
what
all right. I'm
yeah,
thinking to myself, okay.
That's crazy.
So Chris said that he was trying to get your attention.
Like I felt like he was trying to tell me something, then he backed away because I got scared. But then he came back in because he thought, okay, maybe she's all right now. But then I snapped. I was like, I don't know what this is, and I just jumped out of it.
Nation. Okay. Yeah, like it could be nation of Native Americans. Like that's what I thought of when he said nation.
Mm-hmm.
But don't be afraid because they're not there physically.
Right.
They're there to help you learn.
I just had never felt that before, but I felt really relaxed. I felt like, okay, maybe I can float. Like, oh, what's happening? And I don't know how to relax. That's not in my vocabulary.
She doesn't
I
sleep.
used to be like that.
Yeah, she doesn't sleep.
Yeah, I don't sleep.
Like her mind doesn't shut off.
Mm-mm.
Mine doesn't either. I'm up all night long thinking.
That's me. And then I see bugs.
Anthony said in the basement there are tunnels to the water. Also in the basement, the mob played cards. So for some reason, the Native Americans, they used to use like the tunnels in places. I know that there's a place near me, which I would love to get into to investigate if we could ever get in there. But this family stole this Native American princess and used the tunnel that led out to the river to capture her and take her into their basement. They tied her up, and then the Native Americans came back in, stole her back, and brought it back out through the basement of their house, back out to the river.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
So they used these tunnels through the basements, just like Anthony said, to, use that to get out to the river. This is really interesting. And then.
So I'm going to bring up. So we went. Carmella didn't come on this investigation, but we ended up going up to Hinsdale House last year, and we had some weird experiences up there. And that I know that's a lot of Native American activity. Now I went in blind and not thinking anything, and heard a lot of the stories. I slept in Mary's room.
I've never been there yet, so okay. I don't know.
Mary's room is upstairs. That's, if you watch a lot of the shows and stuff, that's a hot spot in the, aside from the downstairs living room area where they did the exorcism.
What's the room with the flies? That's
Mary's room.
Okay.
There was no flies when I was there because we were there. It was like
it was cold.
It was a little chilly. I'm gonna say maybe May. Was it May? March or May of last year. I forget.
I don't think it was May.
No, it may have been because it was for a birthday present. So maybe it was May for Matt. Because it was me, Matt, Lori, and Kelly, another woman that we investigate with. When I was sleeping up there, and this is like maybe 12:30, 1 o'clock in the morning, out the window, because up the back of the property is an offering tree. Mm-hmm. I thought I heard like a banshee or like Native American.
My phone's dead again.
I heard
That's
Native
so
American.
Weird. It's not going on now.
So I was thinking, not saying I always say, hey, you're not allowed to follow me home or whatever. So when you're talking about Native, I'm not saying that something Native American came home with me, but just because you're talking about the Native,
but that was upstairs and not here.
No, I know, but the whole space time can, kind of no time and space kind of relevance.
Let me sleep. Don't put more things in my head. Let me sleep. But my phone won't go on now. It was just on. You saw it.
Yeah, it was on. I don't know. And the charger, well,
it's not charging.
That's not charging it. Mm-mm. What about that? If you plug it into that? Alrighty then.
It's weird that it's like it's dead, then it's not dead.
Yeah.
This is the full one. This was the one you handed me.
Did you go through cords left and right?
I do. I burn my cords out.
Do
And
you have-
That's unfortunate.
Do your cords fry up left and right?
I mean, I feel like every month I have to get another cord.
I have a whole drawer that I just stockpile, and I go through them, and then I just order a whole bunch of cords, and I put them in a drawer, and I stockpile.
That's a good idea.
It's terrible. It really is. So that's definitely you. So
Sorry,
His son,
our
one of
oldest son
kids.
Robert just came in from his evening class.
Oh, I
hello,
forgot.
Robert.
So
He said, "Hey, I thought he was working. I forgot he had
no,
class."
he had class.
Anthony
That's
said,
so fun.
Mary's room, there's flies, the front door open in the middle of the night. He talks about that door opening all the time. It freaked him out.
So Anthony, you were when we did our first investigation at the Ritz. That's where we met. We met you, Richard. You know, it was like I think you said it was the first time that you were sharing your spirit art. Was at the Ritz Theater, and really kind of took the time and kind of presented it for people to view. And so that we met you there, and then you went up right after that. I think that
To Hinsdale.
to Hinsdale House with right, and then you I think your picture's still hanging on the wall just as you go up the stairs to the upstairs. So I know they had some, like he was saying, he had some experiences.
Anthony's had several experiences there. He's been to Hinsdale House quite a bit. I actually saw something play out in my head, and I've never been there before.
So well, I'll tell you, and I don't know if this is going to match up with what just came through your head. So when we were there, we took, because in the back part of the property, there were old apple orchards on the property. So as an offering and kind of, to help with the restoration of the grounds and stuff like that. So we ended up, as a group, we purchased a couple small little apple trees and, planted them in a designated area in the back part of the property.
Did somebody just whisper?
Yes, I just heard.
You heard a whisper.
I heard a whisper.
Okay.
It may have been them, maybe in there. Where we planted the trees. Now, I know when we were there given the tour and stuff, there are remains that they have done ground penetrating. Found a couple of remains and they were flagged out. We just found out. So Matt, who we investigate with, the woman that kind of gave us the history, tour, walking around, tour of the grounds and everything. She was like, "Oh, hey, FYI, we found out the area where you planted your 2 trees, they did some more GPR, sensor work, and they found remains, shallow remains."
Yes.
We were digging, we were pulling out, and it was like within a foot of where we were digging the tree. So I'm like, oh boy. So I was like, I felt kind of bad, but we were pulling out like, kind of metal and stuff like that from the ground, when I was digging the hole and stuff. So I don't know if that's associated with, any of the remains that were kind of close to where we planted the trees. I'm hoping not, but, because you don't want to disturb the ground and stuff like that, if there was remains there and stuff.
So we were at Wildwood doing an investigation, and it was really weird because I had already done a walkthrough in the house and everything, and we were walking around from the front porch to the back part of the house where there's like a structure, and we got to the back of the house, and I looked at my husband and I go, "Why am I hearing hanging tree?" And he looked at me and he goes, "You mean you don't know?" And I said, "No." And he said, "Come here, I'll show you something." And I said, "What are you showing me?" And he said, "In the front door." So we walked through the front door, and I was so focused on something in particular and like doing this particular walkthrough that I didn't get to walk the whole house or see everything. And he showed me this branch that had fallen from the hanging tree at Hinsdale House, because the two houses were connected. So we saw that, and then all of a sudden I started just like talking, and I said, "I'm seeing because he told me about the hanging tree at Hinsdale House, and Anthony was talking to me, and he said, yeah, there's a hanging tree at Hinsdale House, and there's more connections between the two houses, and I'll have to tell you about them. So I said, I'm starting to it was kind of like when someone tells me a little bit about a place, I start to remote view. So I said, I see the house, which I've obviously seen on TV before, but they take little bits and pieces that they look at, and then you don't get a clear picture of the whole thing.
Right.
The whole house, all the property around it, where everything was. And I was kind of explaining this, and it was kind of like when you see kids running in a field where the grass is waist high,
right,
and there's butterflies flying all over the place, and just like you said, there was an apple orchard or some kind of fruit tree growing with a tire swing and whatever, and it looked really beautiful, and you could tell it was warm. Everybody was barefoot running around, and I could see that there was this pond. And what was really weird was there was this man who was in a suit. And I'm like, this guy's in a suit and it's this hot, and these kids are running around, and all of the kids were running around in these white eyelet dresses.
Mm-hmm.
The guy was doing baptisms.
Oh, really?
Oh, wow.
But he was drowning them.
Oh.
Which seemed so strange to me, because why would you let somebody baptize you if the person before you was drowned?
Right.
But it was almost like the others didn't know.
Oh, yeah.
So I don't know if he was saying, each one will come out by themselves. He wasn't a minister. He was faking it.
Right.
So I'm wondering if some of those bodies there are, he buried them shallow, so that might be part of it. But I don't get vivid visions like that unless something actually happened. It was so vivid.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
That is crazy. Yeah, you would think, if you see people, why would you go? Listen, you just did that. Well, no, you're not baptizing me, type of thing.
Well, they probably just didn't know.
Yeah.
They didn't know any better.
That's why I'm thinking maybe they were running around in a different part, and he said, go play.
Yeah, right. And then, right.
And with actual religions, they do it as a community.
Right.
Everyone stays and watches. They support each other, whatever. But I'm watching. This guy is literally, putting them back and holding them down by the throat.
Mm-hmm.
And little kid, they were little kids.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Anthony, was that you? Tala? No, we haven't been to Tala. Trans-Allegheny.
Oh.
That's where I would really love to go. That's my bucket list.
We have a bunch of bucket lists.
I think we all do, don't we?
Mm-hmm.
Where do we want to go?
Key West, St. Augustine.
Right.
all your originals and more.
Yeah, I want to go, because we're, about the community and stuff. And, I was even I want to, with Tony and Cherie being in Arizona and, meeting the people through chat and through this community and your show and stuff, wanting to go out and to Arizona and support Tony and Cherie and, kind of see them in person and experience stuff. So much to do in so little time, so to speak.
Yeah, it is. And Ron just got food, so obviously pair of dessert.
Yeah. Well, we're going Montgomery House.
Yeah. Where else?
Key West.
Oh, in Virginia. What is it? It's at the 380 house or 360 house in Virginia, I think it is. That's I've kind of interested in going down there. It's Dinner with a Ghost, it's called. I know that's what they theme it as, and it's a very Revolutionary War
yeah, I can't think of the name of it. But I would love to go back to Williamsburg, because like you said, you started reading because of paranormal. Mm-hmm. I was never interested, and don't hate me, everybody, I was never interested in history until I was really getting into the paranormal. I'm so fascinated by history and genealogy. I can't get enough of it. I literally sit on like either my phone or my laptop or whatever, and I pour over history and I make connections, and it's just so fascinating to me how like one thing got, from here to here to here and why they're connected. It's just mind blowing to me.
Mm-hmm.
The actually, so it's funny that you mentioned that. The last investigation that we just did at the Peachfield Plantation, the whole history and like genealogy and family tree and stuff like that, they actually have. We took a picture. It was of the original, because it was the original owner, John Skeen, but then the Burr family had it for many, many generations, and they have like a whole family tree, and of the family member names in the family tree with their dates that they, were there. And then it was nice because we were able to, a lot of the responses that came across either Spirit Talker app or Phasma Box, kind of, we weren't saying those names came across to us. So it was like, kind of going back and doing a little bit of evidence review and kind of hearing, and you're like, oh, okay. What was the one thing? We were on the first floor, and it's not something that you think would come across a device. Excuse me for a second.
Here.
Those damn flies.
Right.
So on the Phasma Box,
you need a cannoli.
I need a cannoli. Anthony, you got a cannoli? I need a cannoli.
He ate them all. You're too late.
Forget about it. So on the Phasma Box, we were talking and we were doing Q&A in the one room on the first floor of the building. And what did we hear come across it was an animal. What was the animal that we heard?
Dog.
Yeah, so we heard a dog bark, and then it was like almost like a dog whimpering, which when I went back on the back part of the wall, there was some more genealogy and pictures and stuff. And one of the family members was a Harker. They had it looked like a golden, either Labrador or golden retriever picture on the property. So it was like, all right, is that, possibly that family's, pet that maybe kind of came through type of situation. So pretty interesting. Now, do you sense spirit? I know that, mediumship, and then there's like, some are kind of Reiki and spirit animal kind of sensate, kind of like sense spirit, animal spirits. I guess I'm trying to ask, are you able to sense if animals or family pets have passed, or
I don't feel anything with you right now. However,
I'm just saying in general. I didn't know if in general, not saying specifically.
Nothing's coming to me, but that doesn't mean that they're not with you. It could just be that they're not around you right now. But here's what's weird. So I've had this like nervous stomach.
Talking to us?
While we've been on the show, and there's also something heart related.
Your heart?
Me?
Is it you?
You have a nervous stomach?
I don't have a nervous stomach.
I have the nervous stomach.
She's got the nervous stomach.
Why do I feel like you have anxiety all the time?
I live. Anxiety is part of my world.
So I do.
And I feel like something pulling in there's like a pulling feeling in the chest.
Well, he has a pacemaker.
I have a pacemaker.
Okay.
So, and I'm on my second one.
Oh.
Rapid pulse. Shocking.
Well, that's probably the anxiety.
Shocking.
Yeah.
They call it inappropriate sinus tachycardia. Inappropriate, that fits me.
Is it when you're naked?
No, that's even worse. I shut my eyes and run away.
Why are you shutting your eyes?
I don't want to see anything. I don't want to see it.
That's what I tell people too. I don't even want to see myself. Like,
I don't want to see it. I'm good.
Yeah. Todd, was your heart pumping blood like too fast?
Yep. So
because I'm getting it rushing in my ears.
So yeah,
My ears hurt.
So
I have
when
this
I was
sensation going out my ear. What the
So-
heck's happening?
Sharing is
when I was-
caring.
sharing, nice.
I kept thinking, wow, my ear hurts. But I'm
So-
also chewing gum, which I shouldn't be. But
So when I was 30, so I have a family, there's a family history of heart disease in my family and stuff like that. My grandfather passed away, massive heart attack in front of my father. My dad had triple bypass. So I had, my mom had a regular heartbeat. So one day I noticed that my heart started to kind of beat rapidly. And then usually I equated it to like if you're laying down and you're sleeping or napping and then you get up too quickly and like
Yeah.
you're kind of you're just your body adjusting or whatever. It stayed like that for 3 days, and I'm like, after the third day, I'm like, yeah, I guess maybe I'll call the doctor and get checked out. So long story short, they put a Holter monitor on me. I'm 30 years old. I was very athletic growing up, playing sports and stuff like that. I get a call after I turned in the Holter monitor, get a voicemail because I work for the Department of Corrections as a teacher. Yay, this is so-and-so's office. We want you to come in and kind of go over the results. I'm like, can't you just give me the results over the phone? They're like, yeah, no, doc wants you to come in. I'm like, what words, the F-bomb came out of my mouth. I'm like, God dang it. So I call her up and call my mom up. I'm like, yeah, come on in, meet me at the doctor's office. Something's not good. So long story short, they asked me all these questions. You get tired, dizzy, this, that, blah, blah, blah. Nope. Doctor's like, listen,
I'm like seeing things all around me now.
This is the issue that we think that is what's happening with you. Your heart was stopping. While you're awake, you're fine, but you have what is called sick sinus syndrome.
Yep.
While I'm sleeping, my heart rate would drop. My heart stopped for 1.5 seconds, 3.5 seconds, and then maxed out at like I think six and a half seconds. So I'm asleep, obviously not conscious and aware of it. So they were like, what are you doing this afternoon? I'm like, well, I was planning on going back to work and going back to work and teach. And they're like, yeah, now we're going to send you over so-and-so. And here's a strange tie into the story. So the doctor who put my pacemaker in, they're like, listen, you hardly use it. I only use it like 10% of the time. The reason older people get it is because they're lower fibers, spark plugs. They're like, listen, your number one spark plug is the bad one. He's like, older people, it's like, the lower spark plugs that need the assistance of a pacemaker. So I think the doc told me I just went for my checkup. He's like, yeah, first quarter of 25, you'll need a replacement or a battery replacement. So I'm like, okay. So put that on my calendar to-do list. But the doctor who did my procedure, Carmella's a dental assistant. What happened one day when
I went, this was maybe like a year ago. I went to him like, do you remember? He said the 30-year-old that needed a pacemaker, is he still alive? And I said, he's still alive. He's fine. He's good. And he's like, we were so worried.
Yeah.
But he's like, it was a freak thing at 30 that he needed a pacemaker.
It's not really a freak thing. A lot of people, like all of us, tend to have issues, and that's more like the electric part of your heart. So Carmella, like
I make it stop.
was it her?
Was it me?
Was she going?
No. So here's a weird thing. I have something called dysautonomia, and because of that, I tend to have an issue with the molality of my body, which means the balancing of water and salt.
Mm-hmm.
So I have a lot of static in my body. So that's one thing that will spark things. But I also have Ehlers-Danlos, which is extra collagen in the body. That's why I still look so young. But spirits are absolutely more prone to showing up if there's a lot of collagen.
Wow.
And the Ehlers-Danlos, there's several different kinds. A lot of people tend to have hypermobile Ehlers-Danlos, which means double, triple jointed people. but there is another one that is cardiac involved. So mine is hypermobile with cardiac involvement. So it's weird that you would say this doesn't happen. People with dysautonomia and Ehlers-Danlos tend to be psychic mediums, have extra sensory perceptions, whatever. My heart is actually, it has a bunch of rare stuff. There are things called striae that are like strands that keep your heart held up.
Right.
Mine are false, or I'm sorry, cordae. They're false cordae. They don't have anything that are holding them up. So my heart is not being held up. And my aortic root keeps becoming more and more enlarged. So there's a lot of blood flushing through it.
Right.
And the sinotubular junction, which is the, it's kind of like, it's supposed to keep it closed, so not as much blood is flushed. Both of those things are stretching. So now I have like a slumped piece of my heart that should be replaced probably very soon. It's like there's constant pain because it's slumping and it's like too close to the breastbone and it's constantly resting. So Todd, when you're saying that this is like super rare for someone your age, I went to the doctor not that long ago, probably when I was, 30, 32. And I said, I think that I need to be like checked because my lungs were starting to cause problems. I had kidney issues. He goes, you have the heart of a 20-year-old runner. I go, first of all, I'm not 20. Second of all, I don't run. So that's not happening. I don't have the heart of a 20-year-old runner. I don't have the best heart. All of my organs are shutting down. So this is normal for people like us who, chase around ghosts and do weird things. This is something that is normal for us.
Right.
So that, having a pacemaker, I know a bunch of people who are, around our groups that have things that are odd. Chris Allgood, I was going to bring him up, but I wanted to make sure that he was okay. He had a 2-hour major heart attack in 2018 that should have killed him with 96% blockage in his widowmaker.
Right. Okay.
We just had a friend, high school friend that you went with. We found out same thing. He was having issues or whatever. He had a heart attack, and it was the same thing. The widowmaker. He was very, very fortunate that they were able to, get quick response and get him have surgery and get him, taken care of and get healing up and stuff. Now, I did one thing. Was that Anthony? Was that you that said pacemakers can set off a ghost equipment? I wasn't thinking that. Now, a lot of times, I don't. So would it trigger EMF or the REM pod, like the radio of the REM pod, the frequency of that?
Well, Anthony, it does set off equipment in airports, right?
Yeah.
Right. So like, I can't. So like, when I go through, like now they have them, the scanners that do not affect the medical, pacemakers and stuff. But like old school metal detectors, I have a card that like if it's an old school, it's like no, can't go through. So I know. I know. I actually forgot when we were on investigations, but I don't know. A lot of the times when we're getting the responses.
Yeah, but it's never near.
It's never. Yeah, a lot of
near.
It's
you.
never near me. I don't know what the range is. As far as
we'll have to play around with that.
We'll have to. Yeah.
We should find out about that because
she's pulling out. Look at her. She's pulling out the K2 right now.
Good girl.
It's on. It's over there.
I mean, it goes up one little.
Is it going on?
Like even with something like with Carmella and myself. I mean, if we're able to,
Here's the other one.
Make fun things happen with light bulbs. Are we setting things off?
Right. That's right. No, see that it went to red.
Yeah.
And I know that, spirits are more apt to come towards water, obviously limestone, shale, different things like that. And now collagen, I found out because obviously if there's something wrong with you, you do a ton of research on what you have with you. So that's how I found that out. But who else would have known that?
Right.
If you don't have
I would never think of that.
You wouldn't look for it.
Mm-mm. No.
It is registering a little, Chris said.
It was just a
it
little,
was.
but then it.
So you know what I'm gonna have to do, right?
What?
I'll have to get a specially fitted like shoulder pad or something of like a Faraday box and put it over my
Over your basement.
over my pacemaker over my shoulder.
In groups.
So
We can test everything out on you.
yeah, I'll be the guinea pig, the test dummy.
It'll be fine.
So Ron's getting comply in secret. Not enough to throw off equipment, Chris said.
Yeah, I think it's fine.
Yeah.
But Anthony's definitely a good one to go to for things like that as a retired electrician.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, he's not talking to us tonight. He's mad at us. So
And we gave him cannolis.
they even give you cannolis, Anthony. Come on. I mean, be mad at me, but not them. So what do you guys have planned? Do you have anything coming up?
So yeah, so we're going out to Gettysburg next week.
What are we doing with Ron? The 16th.
I think, yeah, I don't know. Ron,
can't look
maybe
on
in
my phone.
March. I think Ron, we might be getting together with Ron and Lourdes.
I can't look.
I think on the 16th of March. I think Anthony, because we were supposed to go to that Masonic Lodge, right? So I think that's got rescheduled for the 16th.
Are you going?
Yeah, we got invited.
I'm going to be there.
Oh,
Are
yeah?
you coming?
Cool.
I am.
We'll bring you tiramisu.
Yeah.
Oh, cannoli for you. No, I'm just kidding, Anthony. I'm just kidding. I'm just messing.
Maybe I'll share my tiramisu with you, Anthony.
So yes,
If you're lucky.
I'm nice. My husband might even be there.
Cool.
All right.
We'll have
We'd like to meet you.
We'll have Todd squared.
That
Todd
right?
Square. So actually our younger son,
He already came in
he
here.
just
and
came
said,
in.
Is his name Todd too? Because
So-
we call our younger one TJ.
We call him TJ, but he is a Todd also.
Oh my gosh, there's so many Todd. It would be Todd cubed.
Yeah.
So yeah, so we got Gettysburg, and then that get the 16th.
I thought there was something else.
I know we're trying to get up. We weren't able to go to the Patchett House. We were looking. We had the Peach Field on the 24th, but I think we're going to try and attend a couple events to support Ron and Lourdes and stuff like that. I know because we haven't been to the Shanley. I know we want to go. I think we're definitely going to try and do that trifecta, possibly.
Maybe that's why my car doesn't work. I broke it.
Maybe you broke your car.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I love the Shanley.
So Carmella's car,
Exploded.
car. We had to take it into the shop.
Your car is broken.
Yes. Yeah,
Timing chain.
or
And now
something.
the belt
It's-
came off.
we were taking it just before the show, we took it and I was driving it because it was making a ticking noise, and then so I was thinking it's the timing chain, and then literally a half mile before we got to the
Thank
garage,
God you were driving.
I hear and come to find out, then the mechanic, he was there. He's like, open it up, and he's like, oh, I see what it is. He pulls out the belts. It broke on as I was driving there. I'm like, what the heck?
I really wanted a new car, so I think
So
I
that's her
put
way,
it in
yeah,
there.
she
My
put-
juju. I said, what did I say? Not trash it.
Total it.
Total the car. Total the car.
Listen, that's not the good stuff to manifest.
No, we don't. No.
Well, yeah, it's an older car.
Yeah, it's a.
So if they say it's like over 9,000 damage, then they have to total it.
So.
Oh, okay. Well, then there you go.
No, I don't mean be in the car and get
Right.
totaled. I just
know,
know
not you.
It's not repairable.
Not
It's the
repairable, right.
cost of the repair outweighs
how much it's really
the
worth.
value of the car. So we'll see. We'll see what happens with that. But yeah, so we're looking to do a couple different events. We're looking to maybe do Fort Mifflin, maybe at some point. We
We just go with the flow.
we go with the flow.
Say, hey,
something.
come, and we're like, all right, we're
We'll
there.
come. We'll do whatever.
My husband wants to go to Fort Mifflin. And I said, we're so close.
Mhm.
Make it so easy to just get there.
Right.
We went twice. Well, once we did it during the day.
Yeah, we did the in November when they had the siege of the event. We did that. That was with the cannons and everything. You just feel the energy. you know,
I got
it's-
touched there. I got that was the first time we went. It was
Yeah,
at
the
night
first time
in
it was
that
night.
one room, and it was like pulling my hair. I'm like, just stop touching me.
Yeah.
They just love you.
I know. I attract them.
She's cute and adorable.
I attract them.
It's cute and adorable.
Yeah, so I mean, we kind of, not that we fly by the seat of our pants, but we just
We
go with
do.
the flow. We're easygoing, laid back. We just kind of,
Well, now that the kids are older, we can do this.
yeah.
They can drive themselves wherever, and it's not sports. It's just us. That's why we did it. We need to do something together.
Yeah.
Where are you going?
Sipping over Cheyenne.
Okay.
Cheyenne's.
Bye. You wanna
Sorry,
say
our
hi?
older ones.
Our older son's going.
Oh, she's home.
Yeah.
All right. Hi. Welcome
Hi,
back.
Cheyenne. Hi. So yeah, so
We're
we
still talking to them.
I mean, we'll do a couple events along the
Are you
way,
gonna
maybe a
help
couple
us?
of open investigations and stuff, but yeah,
All
just
right.
whatever pops up, and if we feel the urge.
We'll see.
Like I said, the last one we went to
I don't
was
know if it'll be.
February 10th down at the Ritz. Like that was just literally last minute, like Friday night. I'm like, oh, we doing anything? Let's go. So
Okay.
That's the best way to do it.
Yes.
go with the flow.
Yeah. Thank you.
I like that. I'm like that. My husband can't be like that yet, but
Anthony, I missed communicating with you.
Oh, she's so sad.
I wanted to hear your voice. I love your nice Italian New York accent.
Nice Italian New York accent. That's a title.
So Anthony, do you like sports?
No. Mm-mm.
Okay,
he's still using his Italian sign language.
Yeah.
that was enough.
Stay silent. Oh, the dog's sad. He's leaving.
The dog said, yeah.
Lacey's sad. He's leaving. Bye. Be careful.
What does it say? I want him.
To leave my
I said what? I want him to
Ponytail in my head. I'm
leave
sweating.
my outgoing voicemail. Jenny said, Anthony, did you see what Jenny Colucci said? She wants you to leave an outgoing voicemail on her voicemail. The recording.
he leaves great messages.
So yeah, so we want to do that trifecta up at Shanley, because I think that's the cold cryptid and UFO kind of intrigues us too. We watch we watch those shows. It's interesting. Before we go, thoughts on orbs. I want to get feedback on. Like I know we were talking with Bobby Gallo when he was on. I think was he on? Was it
He
on
was
your
on our
show?
show. Mhm.
On your show, and then he talked about. I think he was talking about orbs or the Orb Project book. So we've had some. Actually, I got a crazy capture down in the basement where we had the crazy bell ringing. I'll send you the clip. I don't know if I sent you the clip or not, but I'll send it to you after the show. It's a crazy, like it comes quickly. Listen, so the basement's got all kinds of crazy dust going on. Like you can clearly see on the full spectrum light, like there's dust particles flying around. In the one specific area, it literally flashes into and out of our view on the camera like that. Now, when you see it, it comes in. It's a perfect round circle. The aura, you could say, like the outer ring of the orb, bright white. See right through the middle of it.
I had something like that in my basement, and then all of a sudden it changed shape, and it looked like a streamer that was twisted or toilet paper that was twisted, and it just kind of went like this through the basement, and it turned back into an orb, and it flew around the basement. It was the weirdest thing.
It is weird, but it can't be a bug and it can't be dust. It has to be something.
Send it to Chris Allgood.
I'm definitely going to get, and that's what I'll share. If you can tell me that it's not that, what we think it is. Have a good night, Chris. Thanks for tuning in.
Good night, Chris. We love you.
Um,
Good night,
yeah,
Osmo.
it's about learning. It's education. It just the whole, and I always like to, having met Ron, his catchphrase, his phrase, his motto is timing and relevance. It's like a lot of the stuff that we've captured is just like, it's too coincidental to not to be what it is.
Right.
Could it be something else? Absolutely. But, I'm not trying to be gullible or, anything like that. It's a sincere, genuine wanting to learn and understand, what we're experiencing when you go to these different locations. But yeah,
that's what everybody in this, it's like a family. All these people that come together and watch each other's shows and, hang out together and investigate together and support each other. That's what they're there for. I mean, they're literally willing and able to help you determine what it is without being cocky or rude or judgmental or whatever. We all go to each other and ask, what do you think? Or what do you hear? What do you, did you smell anything? Or, I think that's the great part of all of this.
And the like I said, I've aside, I'm obviously, like we all are, very interested in the Staticom, but then, orbs have actually, that's really kind of my other kind of passion right now, trying to really learn about them. And, and I know it's been, talked about a lot, but the book that I was reading with this instance on Saturday night, the one author, how he talked about, he's like, and how they're just above our plane of visibility, the light spectrum. And then they actually, his theory is that they use fluorescence from the light to help kind of come into view and stuff like that. And then the other thing is, I know a lot of the cynical, the other side of the argument, so to speak, talks about the backscatter and, it's explainable and stuff like that. But all right, I can see their explanation of the backscatter and the light from the flash from the camera. But how do you explain in a video when you're getting quick direct, an object, an orb that is changing directions, split seconds, like it's like here, like dust. I'm not saying dust can't do that, but it just, and it stays that shape and that form. It just, it's kind of, makes you wonder. So my kind of interest right now is the orbs, and trying to kind of research and do a little bit of experimentation with them to hopefully try and find out a little bit more concrete.
I can't answer that for you because
I know, and so it's just, I like to, Bobby Gallo, like Ron was saying, that it brought up, it's good. It opens up an avenue of discussion to help people kind of communicate and not be afraid to talk about it, and just not to poo-poo it, so to speak.
Yeah.
Right.
I think it's definitely an interesting topic and a big topic and something that needs to be figured out. I'm not a science person. I can't.
Neither am I. I mean, I am in a way. My degree is horticulture, so I like the outdoors and the environment and stuff like that. And so
I can explain away, witchcraft or elementals or, the different senses and chakras and, all the witchy stuff. Ask me about an orb. I can't tell you anything. I can tell you it's not dust, but I could tell you that it's definitely someone who's deceased. And I could tell you that I definitely think there's no heaven or hell. It's just that we move on to another dimension, and that's how we can be seen easily.
Mm-hmm.
I can't tell you anything else.
Right. And that's kind of why we've gotten, it went from just kind of like a passion to, it's still a passion, but to really, it's just not what, treating it as what you see on TV. It's a genuine sincerity to want to learn.
Yeah.
Because we're all, at some point, we're all going to, we're going to cross the veil, and,
that I can fill you in on. But I definitely think it's very interesting that everybody's got their specialty. Because one of these days, someone that's working so hard on one particular thing is going to answer that question, and someone that's working on another thing, we're eventually going to figure something out and solve it.
Yep.
Or
Eventually
what
they do,
you
right? I
cross.
mean, people, there's always somebody that's going to be able to hopefully one day answer, will come up with a solution or answer to that question.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what that.
I think you're coming into it.
You're gonna figure it out, Carmella.
But I like that I can actually talk to people and not him and go, okay, like he doesn't get it. He's going crazy.
I'm
but
gonna-
I'm like,
I'm
that
having her-
happened to Maureen.
Anthony
that
and
happened to this
Maureen.
one. See, I'm not that crazy.
Listen,
I am
I'm
crazy, but
texting you both of you, her phone number.
Okay. I'll send you my.
Yeah, I just, and that's good. And I want her to be able to, and I've, since we started doing this, I want her to communicate with people that can help and explain what she's experiencing.
You want her to have friends, is what you're saying.
No.
friends other than you.
I love it.
We're like joined at the hip.
We are.
That's okay. And she can have other friends too.
He's a day younger than me. Did you say that?
I did not say that.
Oh my
I did not
God,
bring
it's
that up.
adorable.
I'm the 2nd, August 2nd. He's August 3rd. But
Yeah.
who looks younger?
We're literally
Me.
12 hours apart. So yeah, we both turned 50 the same,
This year. Well,
This
last
year.
year.
so
Me-
she was
Wait,
born
you
August.
already turned 50?
Yep,
Yeah,
August
August
2nd. Yeah,
we did.
August 2nd, August 3rd.
And Anthony's August 13th.
Yes.
Yeah, that's right.
Yes.
Yeah, he's our
Mhm.
Leo.
He's our Leo.
I'm-
He's our Leo.
That's crazy because all of you guys are Leos and I'm half Leo.
Okay.
You're half Leo?
How you half Leo?
I'm half Cancer, half Leo. I'm right on the cusp.
Oh, that's Robbie.
That's right. Yeah.
When is your birthday?
July 21st.
No, he's Virgo, so he's August 25th, our older son. But I would swear he fits into a Virgo. He is a Virgo.
Man.
I
But
like
how do two Leos get along? I don't know. When we get mad, we get mad.
When we get mad, we get mad. But for the most part, we don't argue. We
Mhm.
don't.
No, he
we
doesn't
don't
hear
butt
anything.
heads.
It's great.
I fire myself up and I put myself out with the water sign.
See? You burn up and then you cool down.
Yep. So Anthony
Anthony,
wants to know if you have a YouTube channel.
So we don't have YouTube. We don't have Facebook yet. We have Instagram and we have TikTok. So it's 222 PIR Paranormal Investigation Research.
So your twos. 222.
It's the 222 PIR for IG and TikTok.
Yep. So
We're
but
tatted.
we
We don't
got-
do
we got
names. We just did 222.
what's
Okay.
that? What is it? Amo.
La Mia.
Love my family.
Love my family. Very nice. Yeah. So we,
have
her
a
being a
website?
student, I've always had an affinity for twos and 22 and 222s.
Todd,
So-
we were married on 2/22/2020.
I know. We said that.
Oh shit!
We
Right.
talked about
Yeah.
that. And I said, oh,
Yep.
she's got our twos.
Yeah.
Todd picked that one. I'm a 444 girl.
Oh,
It's a derivative. It's the same.
it's the same thing. Double up.
Do you guys have a website?
No, it's just we're just like I said, we're just
We just fly by the
working
seat of
on
our
it.
pants.
Just fly by the seat of our pants.
I like it. You're fun.
We
Yeah.
have our moments.
We appreciate the opportunity, and this was nice because it was just to kind of talk and share our experiences and
Make me feel better. I'm not as crazy as I think.
Oh no, this is very laid back.
make me feel better that she's not crazy.
Listen, I wouldn't say that necessarily. We're all very crazy.
We all have our moments.
We all do. This is
I don't wanna
it's
be
a
normal.
crazy thing.
Nobody wants to be normal.
What's he
No.
saying? You have a screen name here. You can set up your channel. Yeah, I just haven't gotten around to it, so I'm probably going to eventually do a YouTube and then do a separate Facebook, page. So, and really, the whole creation was more just about a place to place our kind of our findings and stuff
yeah.
and share it with other people and kind of get their feedback. That's the whole kind of what has the reason for the creation of the social media, the TikTok and Instagram and stuff.
Well, I'm glad that you guys immersed yourselves because you're a lot of fun and you fit right in with the rest of us crazies.
That's good.
We're glad to hear that.
Yeah.
Anthony, thank you for the cannolis.
Oh, you're welcome.
You are very, very welcome. We appreciate it. And
Thank you guys for being with us. We had a lot of fun. I mean, I had a lot of fun. I don't know what the hell he's doing down there, but
Anybody, whoever watches,
He won.
people when they come on, if they watch the replay, they're going to be like,
forget about it.
What happened to the silent guy?
Yeah.
and I know like Anthony, he's very
Robert
animated
Wow.
and likes to
He likes to talk.
talk. I've been good. I've been trying it, and that's one thing. Like the big joke between us is, I always like,
to her house.
and I've tried to catch myself a couple times tonight where I start getting I go off the rails and I just start
That's
talking.
okay.
So I try to.
That's why
I
I
like
give
to
him a
talk.
look or I punch him. Like, all right, be quiet.
I like to talk.
No, we go off the rails too. That's all right. Happens for a reason. Thank you guys for being with us. You're welcome back anytime, as always.
Thank you.
If you need anything, obviously come to us. And this was another Dimensions of the Supernatural.
Let's see, Zang, 1 minute.
Hey, how you doing?
We will
Mr.
be
Frank, we appreciate it. Thank you very much. I hope glad you enjoyed the cannolis, and we will bring the tiramisu on the 16th.
Oh, you don't have to do that. But thank you so much. I appreciate
And
it.
we will get key lime pie together in Key West.
There you go.
Oh, hell yeah. I'm up for that anytime.
That's the best. Can't get any better than that.
Love it. Absolutely not.
Really,
All right, guys. So
we appreciate
another Thursday night, 7:30 to 9:30 every week. We're always here. And Bobby's coming up at 10 o'clock. So I'm Maureen Grudzinski from Lil Witchy, and my great co-host Anthony Simonelli from Seekers Club of the Paranormal and Dimensions of the Supernatural, and our great guests tonight, Carmella and Todd Kokotajlo. Thank you guys for being with us. Thanks, Anthony, for going out. We'll see you. Good night.
Good night.
Have a good night, everybody. Thanks for tuning in.